Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And today I'm very happy to be able to bring to you the video review for the new 2012 San Diego Comic-Con Hasbro exclusive of the Rust in Peace Cliffjumper. And as you can see, very cool packaging on here, very much like the upper torso of Cliffjumper herself. And you can see there's a lot of damage here. You can see the inside of them, some cracked windshields here. You got the Autobot logo, just kind of a really worn look on there. Very, very cool. Flip around here on the side, and it says Terracon Cliffjumper. His frame shattered and his spark destroyed, the once proud Autobot warrior Cliffjumper lay broken on the floor of a Decepticon base, doomed to rust in ruin. But then, with diabolical cruelty, Megatron devised a fate worse than deactivation for the brave Autobot, plunging a shard of dark energon deep into his wrecked body. The Decepticon leader returned Cliffjumper to an agonizing semblance of life, turning the brave soldier into a mindless monster bent only on destruction. Basically, you turn him into a zombie, and you flip around here on the very back, and you can basically see his robot mode, his vehicle mode. Nice artwork here. Brains, the zombie form for him. And you can see that it includes a dark energon shard, as well as this really kind of cool clip-on accessory, which makes it look like the shard is actually stuck into his chest. Very cool. I'll show that off here in a little bit. But the best part about this is when you open it up, you actually get the figure in the package that's in the shape of Cliffjumper's head. And this is absolutely awesome. Moving this off to the side, you can kind of see that because of the way that the plastic is designed, it really looks like he's got like this glow going through him, which is absolutely awesome. On the side here, you can see some paint splashes, which kind of look like scrape marks on the metal. Absolutely wonderful, beautiful detail. You got the busted horn right here on the side. His face is all deformed and ripped to shreds. Flip around here on the back, and this is actually where the figure is housed. As you can see, Transformers Prime Terracon Cliffjumper. You got the San Diego Comic-Con logo right there. And inside here is where the figure is. Now, I obviously took him out. But what's also really kind of cool is that you can take this chest piece and you can put this on the top. Coming back as far as I can, you can kind of replicate his entire upper body. You got his head there, and then it comes down, and then you got his chest. And this is just sitting on there. I mean, it's nothing spectacular or anything, but I love the way that that's designed. I think that's so incredibly awesome. So very cool. Let's get this guy opened up and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Rust in Peace Cliffjumper open up and out of its packaging. And one of the first things that you're going to notice is, in terms of the color, as you can see, this version of Cliffjumper is not pushed together all the way. This version of Cliffjumper is a darker kind of red than the original first edition release. As you can see, there is a bit of a color difference here. Now, what I have actually kind of going on with the original first edition is I got the repro label stickers on here. That's what I kind of liked to replicate the dark energon ooze coming out of them. As you can see, the Rust in Peace, I almost said Rest in Peace version, the Rust in Peace version actually already has these printed onto them. They're not stickers or anything, they're actually printed on them, and it looks very, very cool. As you can see, basically identical. Now, you do have dark hubcaps on this one, you got the silver ones on there, but other than that, everything is pretty much identical between the two molds when you're looking at it like this, other than the color difference. And one thing that's really kind of cool, it's really kind of hard to see, at least in this mode here, but the windshield and everything is all actually this translucent purple bit, and you can see the color difference in that as well. This is kind of purple, whereas this one is more of a kind of a clear, maybe a little bit blue of a tint, but this definitely is a purple tinted window, which really looks cool. But this chest piece is actually painted red, and it's a very nice red, and it matches very nicely. But they have this kind of jagged, ripped look, which really kind of looks like it goes all the way through, and it shows off better in the actual robot mode. And I'll show that off here in just a second. But very, very cool. I love the way that this looks. As I had mentioned previously, this is the first edition mold, so it's absolutely awesome that they found a way to reincorporate this and get this back out. Now, we've since learned that the first edition figures are going to be re-released, so if you did miss out on this guy, you are going to get a chance at getting it again. One other thing that I'm noticing is this horn is a lot softer of a rubber than the original version's horn. This is very soft, almost to the point where I'm afraid that this is gonna break at some point in time. This is soft, but it's a lot more rigid of a plastic. This is very flimsy. This is almost like the rubber shin spikes or knee spikes on Starscream or his crest. That's about how soft this is. So very kind of unfortunate. That's definitely something that I'm not a fan of that they changed. Now he does come with his accessories. This is just a larger piece of the Dark Energon shard, and it's a soft rubber. I mean, as you can see, it is flexible, kind of, sort of, but it kind of reminds me of just a broken piece of crayon, basically, but it is a little bit translucent, and you can kind of see behind it. And he also comes with this, which replicates the shard being shoved into his chest, and you can see that this is like an explosion of Dark Energon evil. Very cool, very awesome, very, very nice. Now, I'm not going to go through the actual transformation because I've already done it one time before when I reviewed the first edition version of the guy. So with a little bit of movie magic, we go from these guys in robot mode to amazing, super sexy robot modes. And as you can see, there is a big difference. I mean, when you look at the coloring, I mean, it's just extreme. This is a much darker coloring, which I really think suits the whole kind of dead zombie look a whole lot more. The other kind of noticeable difference that I'm seeing here is instead of the silver, these are now black. But other than that, I'm not really noticing any other kind of paint differences on the actual figure itself. It's basically the exact same with some slight minor changes. Now, again, the horns on this guy, a little bit more rigid. This one, much more soft and pliable, which I really don't dig too much. Now, I love this chest piece. The way that it looks is just unbelievable. Zooming in here, not only do you see his really cool new head, but you can see that the translucent nature of it, you can really kind of see through the holes here on his chest, which just gives such a super cool look. And then the face, that is just an absolutely gorgeous looking resculpted face. I love the way this looks. It's absolutely, without a doubt, the best looking version of this head when it comes to the zombie version of Cliffjumper that I've ever seen. Absolutely cool. The light piping is purple, so you get kind of a purple glow through them, especially kind of here in the mouth. It's very nice, but you see the busted open mouth, the obvious broken horn bit right there. Just so very cool. And then with his accessory, you have this bit right here, which, as I said, kind of replicates the shard being shoved into his chest. And all you have to do, as you can see, there are little hooks here and here that hook around the top section of his hood, or I'm sorry, the roof on his car, and there you have it. Now, it doesn't lay completely flat, which does kind of suck. It's maybe if you heated it up and bent it a little bit more, maybe what I just did might have helped it, but yeah, that helps it a little bit more. But you can see that it replicates it looking as if that shard is just jammed into his chest and then it exploding with all this Dark Energon. That is just absolutely wicked and so very cool, and in an absolute wonderful way. San Diego Comic-Con being a wonderful, wonderful way to take this figure and give us this look for him. Simply stunning. Now, one other kind of cool bit. Now, we've seen this before, but now it's kind of actually a reality where you can take this and the torso actually can unpeg from it. It's just on a little sliding joint right here, and you can actually now take this and really kind of make a fun looking, scene where this is his torso. He's in agonizing pain, screaming for help that's never gonna come from his Autobot friends, ripped in half. Just so very cool. And then if you want to, like I said, you can take this, you can clip this in, kind of angle these hands down. Here, hold on. There we go. Twist his head just a little bit. I mean, this is just so very cool, so very fun, so very ugly and evil looking. I mean, it's just absolutely perfect, without a doubt, and you can have like another chunk of Dark Energon hanging out there. I mean, this really is one of the coolest uses of, or I should say reuses of a mold that I've seen in a very long time. The figure is just an absolutely beautiful figure. This is still, I mean, I really do like the RID Cliffjumper, but this one is just, in my opinion, a much better figure. Some of the problems I know some people had where that his legs don't stay together very well. This one, it does, at least on my copy. It stays together very nicely. So I don't have any problems with that at all. And it's something that realistically isn't gonna be that big of a deal, because most people are gonna have him displayed where he looks like he's being killed or something. Absolutely wonderful looking piece, wonderful looking figure. The very unfortunate thing is it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, which means you could only get it if you were at the actual convention. Now, this is going to be for sale on Hasbro Toy Shop at a later date. The problem is we don't know when that's going to be, and it's sure to sell out extraordinarily fast. I really can't imagine this thing lasting beyond like an hour when it goes up for sale. I really anticipate this selling out ridiculously fast just because of how cool it is, how great it looks, and it's like I said, it is a wonderful reuse of this mold. I mean, it just is a perfect use of it. It's absolutely fun, very cool to look at. Love the new head on here. It's Zombie Cliffjumper, guys. So there you have it. Here's your look at the San Diego Comic-Con 2012 Hasbro exclusive, the Rust in Peace Cliffjumper. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, this has been Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.